Good morning, everyone. We are from Group 10, and today we will be presenting about our analysis on Christopher Nolan's The Prestige, released in 2006 using Pierre Bordieu's Sociology of Literature theory. My name is Raihan Damat Krisnawati, student number 180. Uh, First, we will give an overview of the movie itself. The Prestige is a movie which was based on the novel of the same name written by Christopher Priest, and it was published in 1995. The movie itself was directed by Christopher Nolan and was released in 2006. The movie stars Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, Scarlett Johansson, Rebecca Hall, and others. The primary primary plot of the movie is about the extreme rivalry between two ambitious magicians, Robert Angiers and Alfred Borden, as they compete for success in the late 19th century. Robert, who comes from a privileged and high society background, began a feud with Alfred, a working class man, after his presumed responsibility for the death of Robert's wife, Julia. Throughout the movie, uh, the men consciously or continuously try to sabotage, manipulate, and challenge one another in order to prove which one is the superior magician. And this ends tragically and resulted in poor outcome for both parties. And now I will explain a bit about the sociology of literature, the theory by Pierre Bordieu. In sociology of literature, in Bourdieu's theory, there are a few concepts. The first one is habitus. Habitus can be explained or described as the underlying unwritten structure and rules that exist in social life. It is considered to be the way each individual or human act and perceive the world, which was influenced by how others will respond and is based on their perception and their experience of the world. Secondly, there is capital, and capital is or are resources that enable agents to establish their position within the social field. There are four types of capital, which are economic or money, social or relations, cultural or skills and education, and symbolic or prestige. The next is class, which is categories that define social identity of each individual and consist of the dominant, the bourgeois, and popular. And the next is field, which is an arena to examine social spaces, which are designed to accomplish using strategies. And a field itself consists of positions occupied by social agents or people or institutions. And lastly, there is distinction, which are defining factors that differentiate each field within society, and it highlights the dominating group and the dominated groups within each of them. Next, I will move on to the analysis of the movie using the Bourdieu theory. The first one is habitus. For the character of Robert Angier, he comes from an aristocratic, wealthy upper position in society. This means that he has financial stability and he perceives Borden as an immediate threat and enemy when he seems to be responsible for his wife's death and his competitive nature wants to punish him for it. And the way he perceives the field of magician is as a field to gain his ambition, success, to maintain his social reputation and his responsibility to his family, as well as to take revenge on the character of Alfred Borden. For Alfred Borden's habitus, he perceives the magician world as a way to gain income because he comes from a working class background, meaning he does not have financial stability compared to Robert, and he does so purely out of his fascination, interest, and love for the craft. In the movie, it discusses his sacrifice towards the craft, and it often drives the point home that Borden believes it is a necessity to sacrifice something in order to be successful in his occupation. The movie also shows the Borden brothers, Alfred and Fallon, who each sacrifices their lives uh, to live as one and to perform the perfect trick, which becomes one of the main driving plot of the movie. And the next analysis will be explained by my friend.
Hello everyone, my name is Nafasya Dwija T. My student number is 177. Here I will be talking about the capital. As explained before, the capital is the resources or the model of the agent to attain his goal, here we're going to discuss about the capital of both main characters. So the first character is Robert Anger. Um, from the economic capital, even though it is not stated explicitly about his economic condition, we can draw a conclusion that he is a privileged and rich man, since he can afford assistance and is also able to travel to another country just to satisfy his obsessions toward defeating Alfred. And then for the social class, as he comes from higher class, he certainly knows several powerful and important people which will help him to attain his goal. And the cultural capital, he has his ideas and also he puts his best efforts to outperform his rival, which is Alfred. And another cultural capital is maybe we can imply that he has a high educational background since he has a better economic condition. And the symbolic aspect or capital, what is interesting here is that he is seen as an aristocrat, but struggling in work due to grief, distress, and obsession. For Alfred Borden, uh, the economic capital, he is from lower economic status because he is from working class, and it is perfect as he is struggling to make money and tries everything to be successful in his show. And for the social capital, as he is from a lower class, he has no powerful or impactful social relations and networking. Cultural capital of Albert. Fortunately, he has the ability to create magic trick ideas, and he also has a passion for magic tricks as an art. And the symbolic capital, since his magic trick of the transported man is successfully gains many audiences, he is highly respected and renowned as magician. And then the next will be explained by another friend. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Shafira Olejolfani, student number 182. I'm going to continue the presentation. The field that we found in the Prestige movie is that Robert Anger and Alfred Borden are in the same field of work, especially in the same magic show. They battle with each other game in the magic show, in their each magic show, in the same field as a magician to achieve power as the greatest, or they call it a winner. That's why at the end, like Anger, I'm the winner, and they are compete each other to be the best magician. And this field brings other agents who participate in the competition and assist them in achieving their goals, such as Fallon for Alfred Borden and Cutter in Robert Angier's side, as well as Tesla. And their background results in a distinct economic field as well. We know that Bourdieu gives an example like schooling that people receive in the educational field can make a lot of difference on how they are positioned in the economic field. Uh, in this case, we don't talk about the educational field, but more like the a background of their individual. And through the movie, we understand that Borden comes from a working class society, while Anger has a high family reputation. As a result, Borden often appears in a small sized theater for his magic show. Unlike Anger, at the end, we know that he has his magic theater for his show. And analyzing from their dependence, Borden relies on their nature as a twin for their sacrification, and it impacts that since Borden relies on their nature, they kept their two identity as a twin, two person as a twin as one identity. So they Borden, who lives in a working class, depend on their nature as a twin, while Anger has the power to buy Tesla's machine for winning the battlefield. Okay, as for the strategies, their ways of competition in the field are discovering each other's and hiding their magic tricks with academic, biological, and will investment. These three investment could be will be elaborated next, which Anger is sending Olivia as a spy, ruining every Borden's magic show, finding Borden's transported man trick, cooperating with Tesla for his machine, and discovering a trick with Tesla's machine. It um, covered the economic investment and will investment that Angier have. And for Borden's case, the twins strategy is keeping two lives as one identity. So this strategy is covered up the biological and the will investment that the twin brother Bordens has. And for the symbolic and educational investments are categorized as impossible in this case in the strategies that Angier and Bordens have, since Angier's reputation from his family, which leads to his higher education, even though it's implicit in the movie, does not prove him significantly to his success. On the other hand, we know that Borden, with a lower class identity, is still categorized as a successful magician. Therefore, Angier is obsessed to compete Borden's title as the best magician. Okay, I think that is all from me. The next part will be explained by my friend Brigitte.
So hi everyone, my name is Brigitte Graciela, student number 181. So now I'm going to explain about the class of both characters, Robert and Alfred. So Robert comes from a dominant class and as an aristocrat and is seen from his attention to reputation due to his family background. This is the main motivator for him as he feels the need to not only succeed in his work but also maintain his reputation and satisfy his family. It also puts him higher in society and allows him to have financial resources which gives him access to things Borden doesn't like to things. Borden doesn't like traveling and spending copious amounts of money to help him reach his goal. And for Alfred, Alfred comes from working class and he doesn't have access to the same means as Angier, having to rely on his intelligence and skills, which ultimately works to his advantage. There are multiple instances in the film which showcases his financial situation, such as when Sarah points out that they cannot afford to pay Fallon. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to explain about the distinction that both character have. So for the first one is taste. This point is impossible because both Robert and Alfred have similar tastes and goals to dominate the transported man trick and become the best magician. The second one is quality. Like Robert's approach to magician and profession is more geared towards impressing other people, while Alfred considers magic as an art and to make money as well. And for the habitus, Robert perceived magic as a way to gain success, maintain his social status, and ultimately to get revenge on Alfred. Meanwhile, Alfred considers it as something he's fully passionate about and to make money, which force him to be more focused and serious towards it. And for the last point is capital base. Since Robert has more resources, he can easily execute his ideas with sophisticated devices, while Borden performs his magic tricks due to his passion for magic and a source of income with simple tools. The next presentation will be presented by my friend Nafasya.
Okay, now the conclusion is, according to Pierre Bourdieu's Sociology of Literature, this movie follows the theory's formula, which is habitus ex capital plus field equals practice. And each of those concepts has been explained in the above presentation. Therefore, it can be concluded that Robert and Alfred's different habitus, capital, and field have different practices. For Robert's habitus, he is someone who regards the social situation as revenge and then maintaining his reputation and also his ambition or obsession to exceed his enemy. While Alfred perceives it more simply, he does his magic tricks as his source of income and to provide for the family and also pure respect for the art he put into his work. For the capital, even though Robert is shown as having more resources than Alfred to achieve his goal, he still has struggled to obtain his goal, while Alfred is able to utilize his capital to gain success. In the field they are both in, the magician business, they are able to showcase their distinction based on their habitus, capital, class, and etc. Lastly, in practice, we can imply from the movie that Robert focuses on achieving and winning the battle against his rival, while Alfred more focused on making money for his family and expanding his career, magic show, and skill set. And that's all from our presentation. Thank you.